When this BMW E92 came up for sale, I knew that this is the perfect first car for the challenge. The challenge of turning it into an M5. In this series, we will fix and trade cars until we can get our hands on the notorious BMW M5. So right now, the full inside of the car is jammed up with parts. So we have some kind of decent looking summer wheels. So here we have the automatic gearbox, for some reason upside down. The mirrors, which one of them is broken. The rat pack, a bunch of parts here, and even more parts here, which is loaded not that nicely. So the parts are randomly on the seat and stuff, so not too happy about that. And the engine right now is just laying here. There's no arms, so it's not sitting on the engine mounts. What happened is that the engine blew up and the last owner was gonna fix it. So he disassembled everything, took off the whole front end because I see there's screws missing here, pulled the engine out, but then he changed his mind and didn't want to fix it anymore. Then he just threw the engine in here and sold the car, and I bought it. He said that the engine is complete garbage because there is a hole in the block. I was already looking on the block, but I could not see any hole. If you have ever done a job like that, you know that taking a car apart and then fixing it and putting it back together is one thing. But putting a car together that someone else took apart is way more of a challenge. However, the body, it doesn't look bad. I think the only parts we need to repaint is the front bumper and of course all the covers, which is missing as always. Even the freaking back one. How is it possible? Also this mess here, you can see there has been some kind of a lip, and this is like sealant or glue residue, and you can see how destroyed it is. It seems like they used a brick to remove the residue. So I think the only way to fix it is to put another lip on it and cover up. All this side looks pretty good. To repaint mostly only the front bumper. I already found a super cheap engine. This is an engine from 318i. 318i's came with the same engine, N43B20A. It's just that the software was different, so it's less kilowatts or horsepower. I paid only 1,800 for this engine, crowns, which is like 160 euros. The guy said it was running and driving, just that there was some burning smell from the engine bay or something like that. I asked him to take a picture of the filter. He took the filter out, took a picture of it, and I couldn't see any shavings in it. And he said he couldn't see any shavings as well. The crazy thing is, he did not remove anything from the engine basically. He did remove the CADs, but he didn't remove the AC. So that's still here, the alternator is still here, the flywheel with the clutch, the manifold. I couldn't remove the cover, but it seemed like even the freaking injectors were still in here. So that's a super good deal. The starter also was still here. I drove 2 hours each way to pick this engine up, and so far it seems good. We can see immediately that the filter, it's old by how collapsed it is, but the thing is absolutely clean. I mean, there is some sludge and stuff, but no metal pieces at all, nothing. I'm not sure if you can see this on camera. Yeah, so some sludge. I mean, I'm not surprised by how this filter looks. I'm gonna put the filter back in. High pressure fuel pump is here. 4 coils, 4 freaking injectors. What the flip? Woohoo! That's how loose the chain is. But I mean, the engine looks clean inside. I don't see any sludge or anything. So these engines does in fact have a hydraulic timing chain tensioner, and if the engine hasn't been ran, there's gonna be no oil pressure in the hydraulic tensioner and the chain is gonna be loose. However, even if there's no oil pressure, it should not be that loose. So index 9, index 11, and index 9. So we have 2 index 9s and 2 index 11s. So that's super good. Now let's remove the spark plugs because I want to do leak down test or a compression test. Now I'll put a screwdriver inside the hole so when I turn the engine over I can see when it's at TDC. Okay, then we're gonna put this adapter on the tool and I'll screw it in to the spark plug hole. Connect the tool up. So now I plugged my tool into the compressor and I'm gonna open the pressure until the leakage test is on 0%. Just like that. I need to read about how it works. Okay, so I read about it a bit and it seems like I'm doing the right thing. Adjust the gauge to 0, then I plug it in, remove it, plug it in, remove it, just to make sure it stays on 0. So now we can see that the leakage is like 7% at 1.6 bars. Let's remove it and try it on cylinder number 4. That is also at 7%, something like that. I'm not sure if this is working the correct way. So what I'm doing also is I turn the bars up to like 5 bars or something and I try to listen. In the coolant hoses, you can hear it in the crankcase. So I cranked up the pressure and I tried listening all around and I can hear that much of anything. Since I'm not sure of my leak down tester, we'll also do a compression test because I know that one is good at least. To do that we need to remove the manifold because we need access to the starter. Now I have checked the compression on all of them and here are the results and it seems around the same on all of them, so around 14 bars you could say. Some is a bit more, some is like 13.5, but all of them are around the same, all 4. So I don't know, for now it seems pretty good. So we need to anyway replace the chains, check the rod bearings, replace the rod bearings maybe, inspect the oil pump, and if everything looks okay, we will probably not even remove the head. Just fully service it, replace all the seals, and it should go. I think we got a killer deal on this engine.
Remove the bumper, give it in for repaint. So here's the bumper ready, and I also have all the covers that was missing that I bought. So I'll deliver them all into the body shop to get repainted.
It's been a good while since the last clip. I had the clip where I put this engine on the engine stand, but I lost it. I have no idea where it is. I guess first thing is that we will drain the oil. Oh, cool. That is the AC. This wiring loom is probably garbage. Well, not probably, it is. But I checked and we do have the other one as well. Oh! Now, before we start the disassembly of the engine and we start fixing it, I will clean the engine in the washing station. So I will be back. We're back. A bit cleaner, at least. Now I want to remove the valve cover and then we need to remove the oil pan. Not bad, but not ideal. There is some sludge buildup. We also removed the lifters. Now removed all the caps for the guide rail bolts and removed the 2 guide rail bolts, and now the whole thing is loose. Now we remove the hub itself. Like that. Vano solenoids look clean. This one is clean as well. Just like that. Camshaft position sensors. Actually decent. Sludge, but no metal, no nothing. When you undo the oil pump bolt, remember it's reverse thread, so tighten it now. Camera died, but I removed the oil pressure sensor right here, and I want to remove the oil pressure regulator solenoid. That seems like it worked. Okay. So little bit of sludge on it, but not too bad, seen worse. Now the engine is as disassembled as it will be, almost. All this sludge inside the engine, it's not bad, but now that we have it disassembled, I'm actually gonna clean it again, of course in the washing station, so I'll be back. Okay, we're back. No more sludge. The engine is pretty clean right now. Let's remove the rod bearings to inspect them. Doesn't look bad. Actually, it looks pretty good. So you can see this is how they look. The bottom one and the top one. So I guess it's good that we're gonna replace them, but not drastic. In order to put this engine back on the road, we need a bunch of new parts, and Trotto saves the day once again. So we have another package from Trotto, and this package should contain everything that we need to put this engine together, such as all the gaskets, tensioner bearings, filters, more gaskets, timing chain kit, brand new spark plugs, more filters. Here I have the rod bearings, original Colburn Schmidt, oil pan gasket, oil pump chain, front and rear main seal, and probably the least important, cabin filter. When I order from Trotto, I am always sure that I will get the right parts for my project. And the reason for that is that they have a free feature called compatibility check. So in many European countries, you can just put in the license plate of your car, choose the parts that you need, buy them, and then Trotto is gonna double check after the VIN code that the parts fit your car, and if they don't, they will automatically exchange them to the ones that do fit your car for free of charge. And in the countries that don't have the license plate feature, you just need to choose your car's year, make and model, and they will double check if the parts fit your car. Trotto does offer worldwide shipping, so if you need any parts for your cars or your project, make sure to use code EMS1025 for 10% off your next order. Let's get back to work and start reinstalling the rod bearings. Now let's reinstall the new bearings. So line up the notch. Okay, now push the rods down again, and we need to push the rods up again onto the crank in order to double check if the clearance is correct on the bearings. We are applying plastic gauge. First torque is 25, then it's 120 degrees. That's it, now I can open. So the clearance is supposed to be between 0 and 0.25 to 0.070. So it can be basically wider than this. It is exactly on 0.063 and 0.063. So the clearance for the bearings is perfectly in spec. Now I will push the rod down again and to the side, and I am applying assembly lube. Okay, after applying, I will push the rod up again. I have new bolts. I am putting some oil on the new bolts. Now I will do the same with the inner ones. I'm not gonna show the process again, there's no point. On the second and third cylinder, the same, around 0.063. It's pretty good because it's more on the looser side, but still in spec. I took apart the oil pump and we can see that it has a lot of visual scratches, but nothing that gets caught under your fingernail. No deep scratches, nothing. And the same is for the inside here. No deep scoring marks, nothing. Looks good. So we will reuse this pump. Then all new gaskets. Lubed up the O-rings. Now I am doing the valve stem seals. As always, I'm not gonna go into much detail because you have done this so many times. Leak down tester into the combustion chamber, apply pressure. So now it's blowing air into the combustion chamber. From all the pressure in the combustion chamber, it's keeping the valves in place. So even if you remove the retainers, the valve is not gonna fall in. So first thing, you take a socket and you give it a little tap. Because the retainers is gonna be stuck into the valve, so when you push it down, the valve is gonna push itself down with it. I put on the bracket, and then I take the tool and push it over the valve. And now when I push it down, the spring pushes down, compresses, and we can remove the retainers. And the same thing from the behind. I use a little magnetic screwdriver for this. Now you can remove the spring. To do this job, you need two different toolkits. One toolkit for a leak down tester and one toolkit for valve stem seal replacement. The tool usually comes with special pliers, but mine didn't. So I just use vice grips and clamp the old seal and remove it. Now the seal itself, we can see it's pretty hard. I take the little cylinder, push it through the valve almost to the end, and then I push the seal on and pull off the plastic cylinder. That helps the seal not get damaged. Take the same socket and just tap the seal in place. Then put the spring back, and it's time to put the retainers back. Probably the trickiest part. Best way to do it, take a little grease and put it on the retainer from the inside and outside. Then the retainer gets stuck under the screwdriver. And put the retainer on. just like that, and then release it. Make sure that the retainers is in place, and done. One more left, so it's this one, because I have all the other ones off camera. So I'll just quickly do that, and then we can continue reassembling all of it. Now in with the lifters again. Now in with the intake camshaft. Then it's exhaust cam. Camshaft caps are torqued to 10. In order to time the engine, we have a special tool here. The chain in. 14. 20. Good. Then there's also this tool here. This tool here sets the timing for the VANAS, or well, the camshaft position sensors as they look on these plates. As we can see right here, there's also timing for the oil pump. The way you time them is that the round part of the shaft is looking downwards, just like this. Then you use a special tool provided with the timing kit, and you put it over these flat spots. After looking through the entire car, I can't find the flex plate for the engine. I only can find the flywheel, but we have an automatic, so I need to get that from somewhere. So now I got the flex plate from a guy I was randomly off, and I also locked the flex plate, so now the crankshaft is in time. Install the tensioner that comes with the toolkit. The VANA sprockets is torqued to 20, then 180 degrees. Then the hub bolt is torqued to 50 firstly, and now it's 150 degrees. $32. Now install the real tensioner. And the VANAS gears fit as well. So the timing is indeed correct. Oil pickup. Slide it into the oil pump. The oil pan gasket. I want to pull the engine out and clean the engine bay before we continue working on the engine. We will need to recheck all the subframe bolts because it looks like they dropped the subframe to remove the engine. Then here I have the valve cover clean, that I cleaned out, and with a brand new gasket. High pressure fuel pump. Then we have the spark plugs. Beautiful. Now I'm fixing the engine wiring loom. So when they removed the engine, for some reason they cut a bunch of wires. So there was like 4 connectors completely cut off. So this entire one, this was cut off. This. So now I fixed it. The VANA solenoid connectors is also cut off. Like, come on. It got dark right now, but it's time to put this bad boy inside. Okay, that's right. Now I have new engine ground. intake manifold. I torqued down torque converter, put on the plate here. This thing, I also put on the gearbox cooling pipes that go all the way to the front of the radiator. And I think the last thing to go on before we can put the engine in is this wiring loom here. This wiring loom is for the gearbox. For the last time, empty engine bay, at least I hope so. I did now the annoying parts, so I put in the prop shaft bolts, torqued them, engine mounts. The airbox, I replaced the air filter, so now it has a clean filter. 4 liters of 5W30. Actually, it's 4.25. Let's see if the starter cranks. It does. Right now, before we start it, we are gonna do a leak test on them, just so that we know that the injectors are good. I managed to build up the pressure. And it seems that it's only cylinder 4 that is leaking clearly. So that one there can go straight into the bin. Here I have another one. Now I tested multiple times and none of the injectors are leaking. And the fuel pressure stays and it doesn't fall. As you can see there, high pressure. Because if it's leaking, it's gonna fall down immediately. The engine hasn't ran at all, so there's still like air in the system and stuff like that, but at least for now I think it's gonna be pretty good. So I will reinstall, and I will also take the pictures of the codes and we will code them to the car. Now I reinstalled the injectors. I also coded all of the 4 injectors to the ECU. So now the correct numbers are stored in the system. Okay, let's see if it fires up or not. One injector was not plugged in. Okay. I don't want to run it for too long with no coolant. The entire system was completely empty of coolant, so it makes sense that it needs so much. Belt is on. Time to put on the front end. I connected up the lights to see if they're working. They did not work. This one had a bad ballast and that one had a missing xenon light. Xenon bulb, I mean. Then it's these radiator screws that we removed. It is just simple plastic screws. I'm not sure why. I guess maybe if you get in an accident, so they break easily. This video took a while to film, so I have already picked up the bumper. Here it is. Quite dusty right now. So let's start with I put the bumper together, so let's slap it on. Pull out the xenon washer, remove the broken plastic, and reinstall the new one. Yes, that looks so good. Beautiful. Now I'm gonna slap on the mirrors real quick because they're missing. They should be somewhere here in the trunk. Yep. So now there was a bunch of glue residue from the lip, or I mean the spoiler that it had. The lip is off, but the trunk right now is very battle scarred on the lip itself. You can see Dave was using like a rock to remove it or something from that end. Yeah, so not bad to be honest. The car is clean right now, probably as clean as it has been for the last year probably. The car right now looks amazing. We need to do some polishing here and the trunk, but right now I want to make this car look even better than it already does. And to do that we have a package from tuning.lt. Tuning is an automotive styling brand based in Lithuania, and they offer many different styling parts for German cars. So I reached out to them and they sent me this massive package here. So this should be, so this is the side skirts for both sides. Then we have mirror caps like that, because the ones that is on the car is a bit destroyed right now. Both sides. The front lip. Hey, look at it. Last but not least, the rear lip. I did not want a big one, so I chose this pretty small one. So things are gonna look amazing. Then of course all the hardware that we need to mount the parts. Tuning.lt offers Europe-wide shipping. So if you buy anything off their webpage, they will fix shipping in the entire Europe. And don't forget to use code EMS for a little discount on your next order. A bit of double-sided tape here, just so it stays in place at first, and then we can put bolts. I like it. The skirts I put all the way so they're up against the jacking points, so I couldn't put them in more. So I'm guessing that's how they're meant to stick out. It looks pretty good so far. I'm like Johnny Sins. Didn't expect it to come out that good. Какой хороший день! It's random. What did you say? Какой
хороший день.
How was your day?
No, what a nice day.
Oh, what a nice day.
So, your glue is already off? So you wanted to put it exactly in the tape, yeah?
Oh, yeah, on the line.
Yeah. Good. Yeah, I mean, it sits.
I also put on a new diffuser that I got, which is glossy black.
What is happening here? What can I say? The car drives perfectly almost. It's not fast, but I mean as fast as a 320i can be. That is gonna be it for this video. There's a few small things I need to take care of, but I will do that off camera. And then we'll put this car out for sale, I guess. We bought the car for 15,000 crowns and then included everything. So the cost of buying the car, shipping it from other side of the country, which was 8,000, engine parts, which was 5,000 crowns, of course. I bought new rear tires, mounted them, balanced all 4 tires, battery, front bumper repaint. So yeah, total cost for the whole car, included buying it, ended up around 47,000 crowns, which is exactly around 4,000 euros. So we bought it for 1,200 euros and total cost, included buying it, 4,000 around. And that is included the tax, registration tax and stuff like that. It might seem like a lot, but if you have ever done a job like that where you restore a car, it's the small parts that end up costing the most. As I said in the intro, the plan is to trade this car up to an M5, so we need to sell it and then buy another car to fix and then sell that and do that until we can get an M5. This car I think we can sell for like 100k. In Norway the cars are more expensive, but also sometimes you can find good deals such as this one for 15k. What M5 I want to get? I'm not sure yet, probably E60 M5, but E39 M5 works as well, or F10, but that's even more expensive. By the way, the mirrors, the seller gave me the wrong mirrors, because this is mirrors from E90 instead of E92. E92 has like smaller ones. I think it's from an E90 facelift, but who knows. If you want to support this channel, make sure to check out my Patreon, which is in the description. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one.